Manic Expression proudly presents Podcast Plays, with music by Les, edited by J.L. O'Fallon, announced by Alex DeCorville. Tonight's presentations, Mason Dixon by J.L. O'Fallon. Podcast Plays are brought to you by Manic Expression's Cafe Press Shop. Express yourself, and buy a t-shirt while you're there.
Listen up, y'all, to this tale I'm gonna tell. It's fun, kinda tell. That's why I like it so well. It's about a coming together between the north and the south and the high. There is happenings, the natural came about. So gather close together, we'll have a grand old time as we listen to the folks across the Mason-Dixon line.
Explain it to me again one more time. Why is it you're going through with this, and how did I end up getting shanghaied into the bargain?
Enough, Anton. We both agree that this was for the best. Besides, a change of pace would be good for everybody. New York was growing stale on us.
Maybe on you, but I for one will miss the sound of random strangers crying out for help outside my bedroom window. Incidentally, I don't remember agreeing on anything.
Too bad. We're going. I'm your mother, and that's final.
Yes, you are my mother, the woman I ended up having to give the refresher talk on the importance of using protection during sex to.
I didn't appreciate the sock puppets, by the way. I think I see our cab coming.
Wonderful. In all seriousness, you barely know this guy. How can you justify marrying a total stranger and moving us down to the land of deliverance?
You're thinking of Georgia, Anton. Alabama is the heart of Dixie.
In that case, one of us should have packed a steak.
Just get in the cab, Anton. We're leaving.
You excited to meet your new stepmom and stepbrother?
Yeah, Dad. Thrilled. Dad, I meant to ask you this earlier. Why are you holding up that sign? I think Mrs. Dixon ought to be able to pick you out of a crowd, seeing as how, the two of you are married now.
Well, we haven't had the chance to spend that much time around one another. I want to make sure she knows which one is me in all this mess.
Well, actually, the airport isn't really that crowded right now.
It's better to be safe than sorry, son.
You just wanted to make the sign, didn't you?
I wish I knew where you got your smartphone, because it sure didn't come from your mother. I know things aren't going to be easy for you, Bobby, especially not at first. This just felt like the right sort of thing to do, and I hope, given time, you can come to understand that.
I understand, Dad. It's just going to take me a while to get used to it.
I just want you to know that things won't change too much for us. We'll all have to get used to one another. And plus, I think you'll like having a brother around the house. You always wanted one when you were a kid.
I also wanted my own Bronco bull so I could practice being in the rodeo, but I outgrew that.
All right. Well, did I mention Anton is the same age as you?
Several times. Look, I think I see Mrs. Dixon up ahead.
Yep, that's her all right. Good eye, son.
Funny, from the way you talked, I thought she'd look more pregnant.
Do us a favor and don't repeat that in front of her. Hi, honey?
Oh, hi. Dear?
This isn't awkward at all.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, I know. The luggage. We still have to get that.
Right.
Boys, why don't you two grab something to eat while we gather everything up? Meet us in the front of the main doors of the airport lobby in half an hour, okay?
Do we have to?
Anton, you got money, right?
Yes, Mom.
A nice boy you've got there.
It's very sweet of you to say that. Anton is still in an adjustment state.
Aren't we all? The luggage belts are this way. If you want, I can grab yours and Anton's stuff, then meet you back here.
That's okay. After being on that plane, I need to stretch my legs for a bit.
Right. Well, after you, milady.
Why, thank you, kind sir.
So, your mom's pregnant. And they both think the baby is dad's, right? There's no way this could be some sort of a mix-up, like in those old movies, right?
The doctor that did the blood work said she was only a couple of weeks along. Mom did the math, and your dad is the only one on the list of suspects.
So she's sure.
Everyone else was too far back.
Ugh, right.
I'm surprised a small town like Birmingham has an airport.
Birmingham is the largest city in this state. 1/4 of Alabama's population lives here.
And New York City is one of the biggest metropolitan areas in the whole world. You could squeeze this whole burb into a small corner of it. So where do you guys live?
Kennetuck Falls.
Oh, really? Which part of Birmingham is that in?
It's not in Birmingham. Kennetuck Falls is about a half hour's drive southwest of here. It's a small town, just off the interstate.
Wonderful. There's a town that's even smaller than this podunk place, and I'm going to be stuck living in it.
Sure looks that way.
There you go. Do you need anything else?
No, thank you.
Thanks, beautiful.
I'll come back and check on you later. Enjoy your meal.
Beautiful? That's the best you could come up with?
I didn't see you trying anything better, genius.
Perhaps because I think that in an establishment like this, she's heard more than her fair share of bad pickup lines and doesn't need any others thrown at her from someone not yet old enough to shave.
Hey, I shave every other month.
This is an international airport. Much as I find it hard to believe, I'm sure she's gotten offers far better than anything you could give her.
Oh, and what makes you so sure?
The fact that you're 14 immediately comes to mind.
I'll be 15 next spring.
Fantastic. I'm sure she's willing to wait for you. Now why don't we eat quietly and spare ourselves further misery?
Speaking of misery, what is that supposed to be on your plate?
It's called puntilitas. Fried baby squid.
Ugh, ugh. I think I'll stick with my blue cheese burger. Enjoy your food, I think.
I was surprised a place like this even has it on the menu.
Birmingham, it has all kinds of cool stuff.
Really? Such a shame, then, since we'll be living so far from all the exciting local color.
We aren't that far. We don't live that far from Birmingham. My dad and I come here ever so often.
Fun.
What did you do for fun back in New York? Like, did you ever visit the Statue of Liberty or spit off the top of the Empire State Building?
Yes, it was a weekly routine for me and the members of my notorious gang.
Wait, you were in a gang?
We were the Rollin' 66 Decibels. All the progeny of New York's literary society banded together for protection and became a fearsome force on the streets. In addition to splitting off the top of the Empire Building, we would get together and return library books a week after they were due, then shuffle the card catalog so that no one could find what they were looking for.
You're a funny man.
It's nice to know I'll be sharing a home with someone who appreciates my wit.
Don't remind me. I still don't get why my dad proposed, or why your mom said yes to him.
She was probably lonely. Mom hasn't had much luck with relationships ever since Dad died. Just forget I said that, okay?
My mom ran off with some guy a few years back. Dad filed for divorce just before my 8th birthday rolled around. It's been the two of us ever since. Well, us and Granny Mason. She comes by all the time, especially to cook.
I offer you this as a courtesy. Never allow anything my mother has cooked for you pass your lips. I will claim no responsibility should you ignore my advice.
She's that bad a cook?
Mom made me lunch once back when I was in 1st grade. Someone called 911 and a hazmat team showed up thinking there was a chemical leak. The classroom had to be evacuated.
Oh, now I know you're bullshitting me.
I spent 3 hours with an agent from social services explaining that Mom wasn't abusing me. She just couldn't cook at all.
Did they believe you?
I showed them the casserole she made the week prior that was still in the fridge. No one could argue with me afterward, especially after I offered them a taste.
Wow. So what did you guys do for food?
There's this thing we have in New York called takeout, where a man in a funny little hat brings food right to your doorstep.
Ha ha. Hilarious.
That, and I cook sometimes.
Do you do dishes too?
Not on your life.
That was great. I guess we should go find the two lovebirds now.
If it weren't scientifically impossible, I would be afraid of leaving the two alone for more than 3 minutes for fear of your dad impregnating her again. As it stands, we probably shouldn't take any chances.
Ugh. Mental picture. Don't you ever do that to me again, or I'll kick your ass, big city boy.
There's that predilection towards violence that I've heard so much about.
Do you ever talk normal?
Well, it took them 4 hours, but the airport personnel was able to find your luggage.
I could have punched that little bitch in the face for getting smart with me. So much for Southern hospitality.
I appreciate the way you held back. It looked like she may have been a relative of mine.
From the way she talked, Southern hospitality doesn't extend to New Yorkers.
Hey, we made it home safely and nothing you guys shipped to us through the mail looked damaged. I'd say that's a pretty strong silver lining.
You're right. Let's not worry about it now. We should get some rest and then get started unpacking tomorrow.
Unpacking sounds so final, like there's no turning back after this point.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna lay down for a while.
Sure thing, dear. Why don't you let me worry about dinner? We can order out tonight to celebrate your homecoming.
Sounds great. Come wake me when it gets here.
Right. 3's a crowd. I guess I'll go see what my room looks like.
Upstairs, first door on the left. You're right across the hall from Bobby.
Try not to get lost or anything.
What do you think?
Truthfully, I think he's an asshole.
Watch your language, son, especially when there's more than 2 of us in the house.
At least you can understand what I'm saying. Every other word out of his mouth makes my head feel like it's going to swell up and burst. He talks like he's trying to host Masterpiece Theater or something.
Anton?
It's just me, Mom. Sorry, did I wake you?
I hadn't even stretched out yet. Come here. I want to talk with you for a minute.
Present and accounted for, Professor.
Watch your tongue, young man, especially now that there are 2 more of us. What do you think of them, incidentally?
Keith seems nice enough, I guess. He's an improvement over Michael, though that's not really a compliment. The other one's a complete moron, though.
I try to have a conversation with him, and he keeps running his mouth off and going on about how much he hates it here.
It was riveting, to say the least. I was surprised he could string 3 whole words together.
Then he goes off and orders this weird shit from the menu that's unpronounceable. It was gross.
Then he dives into this burger like a starved mountain lion. I saw a gazelle get ripped apart on National Geographic, and this was far more disgusting.
But the worst part was...
He has no grasp of sarcasm whatsoever.
I see. And you don't think you're being ever so slightly unfair to him? After all.
They just moved to a completely new place, son. Anton spent his whole life in a huge city. Somewhere like Kennetuck Falls is going to seem tiny by comparison.
Also, this was their home before we came here. To them it feels as though we're the ones intruding on their personal space.
Best thing is to make them both feel welcome here.
And try to be a little more patient. I'm worried you might have hurt Keith's feelings earlier. He's a sensitive sort of man.
And be careful about how you talk around Kate. I'm glad the 2 of you waited by the front door like you were supposed to, because I'll be honest, the slightest thing sets that woman off.
And you like that about him?
It's a nice change of pace, though I would prefer if he were more assertive.
I didn't get to say much while we were alone. All she wanted to do was tell me about the book that she's gotten published.
He's a wonderful listener. I still can't get over that. Why...
The whole time she's talking my ear off a mile a minute. So I just nodded and pretended like I understood a word she was saying.
He's so patient.
I thought I was going to have to strangle that lady in the soup for what she said.
Oh no. It sounds like...
You actually like her?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So, where do we go from here?
Tell the truth, son, I really don't know. I guess we'll just have to take it one day at a time.
Wonderful.
Mason Dixon starred J.L. O'Fallon as Anton Dixon, Patricia Miranda as Kate Dixon and waitress, Mark Nicholson as Keith Mason, and James Daniel Walsh as Bobby Mason. Stay tuned next time for plays from more of Manic Expression's talented members, and find all their videos, blogs, and other creative endeavors at manicexpression.com.